The United States has been signaling for months that they were going to take action in Venezuela with a military buildup in the Caribbean under Operation Southern Spear and escalating counter-narcotics operations that served as an excuse to build up military pressure. Apparently, the goal was to take Maduro and his wife into custody, as confirmed by the successful Delta Force raid on January 3rd. Videos of the operation are all over social media, including footage of helicopters over Caracas and aftermath strikes. The United States conducted limited strikes to destroy Russian S-300 and Buk air defense systems, along with other radar and missile assets like Chinese Fk-3 systems. This effectively neutralized Venezuela's air defenses without a single U.S. aircraft lost. This cleared the way for Delta Force furries to come in on helicopters supported by Night Stalker aviation units. We have satellite images showing before and after shots of where air defense resources were likely stored, with confirmed destruction at sites like La Carlota Air Base and others. The U.S. military could have done much more damage to Venezuela's military, but that wasn't the objective, as the operation was precisely targeted to avoid broader destruction. This wasn't like Iraq in 2003, where the U.S. aimed to destroy all of Saddam Hussein's military assets. This was a surgical strike to ensure Delta Force teams could get in safely and extract Maduro. Videos show nearly a dozen helicopters flying over Venezuela's capital to abduct the president and first lady. Donald Trump posted the first images of Maduro in Delta Force custody, showing him blindfolded, handcuffed, in a gray tracksuit aboard the USS Iwo Jima. But at least they were kind enough to give him a bottle of water. Now he's in New York City and will face indictments in a courtroom for drug trafficking, including narco-terrorism conspiracy and related charges from a 2020 sealed indictment. The good news is that Maduro was removed from power in a relatively contained operation. Very few Venezuelans died, and the U.S. military didn't lose a single service member or piece of equipment. None of the helicopters were shot down, though one was moderately damaged, and reports note injuries to U.S. pilots from ground fire. But in all other regards, this was a complete success for the U.S. military. This appears to be a moment of celebration for most Venezuelans, with celebrations in diaspora communities. But Trump is not going to support a democratic transition. The only thing going for Venezuela is that it has attributes that make it somewhat stable, at least compared to Libya and Iraq. The society lacks sectarian divisions and is mostly homogeneous. As we've learned from Libya and Syria, diversity seems to be the death of nations. But Trump hasn't committed to democratization, nor will the State Department. Edmundo Gonzalez ran against Maduro in the disputed 2024 election and should have been the legitimate winner. If the State Department truly wanted to actually uphold democracy, they would bring him back or support his claim. Instead, Trump says the U.S. will run Venezuela until a safe, proper, and judicious transition. But he never mentions elections at any point. It's obvious the State Department wants a pro-American strongman rather than democracy, or at least a controlled government prioritizing U.S. interests. Currently, Maduro's vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, is in charge after being sworn in on January 5th. Funny enough, she's blaming Zionists and Jews for the attack. So at least she's getting something right. But she's completely capitulated to the U.S. in tone, stating, Venezuela reaffirms its vocation for peace and peaceful coexistence. We consider it a priority to move forward towards a balanced and respectful international relationship between the United States and Venezuela, and between Venezuela and the countries of the region, based on sovereign equality and non-interference. We extend an invitation to the government of the United States to work jointly on an agenda of cooperation oriented towards shared development within the framework of international legality, and to strengthen lasting community coexistence. President Donald Trump, our peoples and our region deserve peace and dialogue, not war. This is the Venezuela I believe in, to which I have dedicated my life. My dream is that Venezuela will be a great power where all good Venezuelan men and women can come together. Venezuela has the right to peace, to development, to its sovereignty, and to its future. Now, this conciliatory statement came amid threats from Trump for total access. The State Department doesn't care about democracy or the Venezuelan people. All it cares about is oil and mineral rights, as Trump has openly prioritized American companies controlling their energy sector. Trump stated, "We're going to get that oil flowing again. Venezuela has the largest reserves in the world, bigger than Saudi Arabia, bigger than anybody. It's been rotted, totally rotting away under Maduro. The infrastructure is a disaster, but we need that oil. We need the minerals too. They've got incredible minerals down there, critical minerals that we need for everything. We are in charge now. The American oil companies are going to go in. They're great companies, the best in the world, and they're going to invest billions of dollars to fix it all up. Rebuild the pipelines, the refineries, everything. They'll get it up and running fast, probably in under 18 months, and will sell large amounts of that oil. It's going to be fantastic for us." Well, I suppose it will be fantastic for us because, as we all know, every American is an oil tycoon. It may be true that Venezuela is a failed state. Its economy has shrunk by 80% since Maduro took office, and millions have fled. The country relies heavily on food imports. Up to 80% of its food is imported. Venezuelans are going to starve and start migrating to the US in droves. But I'm sure Trump's wall that Mexico paid for is going to stop them. Meanwhile, Trump believes that American oil firms will rebuild Venezuela's energy sector. In such a case, the Venezuelan people will just be shafted as profits flow primarily to U.S. entities. American oil will take profits for themselves, leaving nothing for Venezuelans. Venezuela has 303 billion barrels of proven oil reserves. Controlling Venezuela shifts global power, giving the Western Hemisphere control over half the world's oil supply when combined with American, Canadian, and other regional production. The State Department desperately wants this wealth and influence. This raises a question. Why didn't the US do this to Putin or Kim Jong? Because they have nuclear weapons, the deterrent that Venezuela lacked. The truth is loud and clear. You're not safe unless you have nukes, and this will obviously push more states to seek nuclear weapons, and China will continue to build nuclear warheads and silos at breakneck speed. America is just going to do this more, topple more governments, invade more countries, and seize more resources. Trump openly says on Fox News that the U.S. can, quote, do it again, and nobody can stop us. That's the language of an empire planning further aggression. America doesn't care about democracy or freedom, only profit. Other South American countries will inevitably become targets if they align against U.S. interests, and the administration even jokes about Greenland being next. Katie Miller, wife of Trump's advisor Stephen Miller, posted that Greenland is next with an image of the island in U.S. flag colors, captioned, "Soon." Trump stated, quote, "We need Greenland from a national security situation. It's so strategic. Right now, Greenland is covered with Russian and Chinese ships all over the place. We need Greenland from the standpoint of national security, and Denmark is not going to be able to do it. I can tell you that. You know what Denmark did recently to boost security in Greenland? They added one more dog sled." So, nobody appears to be capable of stopping the US. Not Europe, not Russia, and the deep state will continue to bully the world as they have for the past 60 years.
I'm also meeting with oil companies. Let's go. You know what that's about. We've got a lot of oil to drill, which is going to bring down oil prices even further.